So, lads, the Seattle Storm are screwed. They are absolutely screwed, lads. And they're so screwed that I have woke up at like 2:25 in the morning when I saw it. I got up out of bed, blew my nose, and it turned out it was a tissue that was full of vapor rub, and now my nose is burning extremely badly. But it does not matter. Videos do not make themselves, especially here on the Mick Talks Hoops channel. It doesn't matter where we are, what time it is, a video is coming out. So, it's not looking good for the Storm, and it's really not looking good for Neko Wumake or the WNBA Players Association. So it says here, the Storm are being investigated for alleged player mistreatment. The Storm declined to comment when contacted by Sun Times. The Women's National Basketball Association, or National Basketball Players Association, confirmed that it was aware of an ongoing investigation of the team but refused to provide details. The president is on the team! The Storm's coaching staff is under investigation. A law firm hired by the team is looking into accusations of alleged harassment and bullying by the coaching staff tied to on-court performance during the 2024 season. A source said the allegations stem from incidents that happens at practice and during games. An email from the law firm obtained by the Sun-Times showed investigations have been active for at least 2 weeks. The Storm declined to comment when contacted by the Times. The Players Association confirmed was aware, yada yada. Noelle Quinn was promoted to head coach in 2021 after a long time coach Dan Hughes retired. Serves as assistant coach. The roster is changing, but according to one league source, the investigation was sparked by multiple players' experiences. And lads, this is not the first we have heard from this. If you guys did not see quite a while ago, there was a tweet a couple of weeks ago by somebody that's kind of not in the WNBA social media. She is someone that tends to be in the know at times. It was Sabria Whitaker. And she tweeted out basically that she tweeted out this, and it was crazy, some of the responses. And again, like, look, some of the responses are berserk, and I mean it's absolutely berserk when it comes to like WNBA media. Like, if you say something like Angel Reese is bad at layups, you're a racist. If you question anything about legacy WNBA, they'll go for your head. And like, she tweeted out, if what I'm hearing is true, and hard conversations are going to have to be had about Seattle and WNBPA leadership. Obviously, Neko Wumake is the WNBA or WNBPA head, and like, the amount of what are you hearing? I posted a screenshot earlier. This is from somebody on a thing. I'm hearing certain players were also involved in this coach's clique, and that a front office executive was in the know, and that one player almost came to blows with a coach. So basically, I don't know who this person is, but the fact is that obviously this is now going to be an investigation. But like, people were quote tweeting replies to this, basically saying that she should be sued by the Seattle Storm. That the Storm should sue her. And then there's this Roberta Rodriguez. She's not the ominous crowd, but she's of that like nature of journalism. One thing I want to say is a huge separation between basketball and business operation. Players usually shielded from issues in front office. What is she talking about? She's not talking about that. I made sure to separate both. I'm still a huge fan, especially of defending the basketball team, especially Noelle Quinn. I haven't heard any negative ever. However, it's quite the opposite. It's important to not target players from malpractice leagues. Facebook post has been edited. I've checked with my source in the front office. And president of ticket operations and the president of ticket operations has not quit. So the post says, anyone knows that a chemistry seemingly non-existent between coaching staff and most of the players as the season wore on. I'm hearing more and more rumors that Noelle Quinn and her coaches were allegedly abusive towards staff and players alike, threatened the player, creating a hostile environment for players, caused division amongst players, called players slurs, B-word, dumb, and all kinds of other abusive terms. Here it was so bad, the president of ticket sales quit. Obviously, again, this is just a Facebook post. And this was obviously for your one Sabria to share. I'm guessing this has a little bit more like, obviously, like, weight to it if it's shared by someone that is in general in the know. Like, people are saying, oh, like, news, like, journalists have sources in WNBA. No, we saw it from the Stephanie White thing. There are random people that have sources with WNBA teams. This is not a professionally ran league, by the way. Like, there are random people that have sources with teams. And He couldn't take toxicity anymore. Hopefully there's a resolution soon, especially with all the coaching changes happening. Mercedes Russell, a player, by the way, when somebody said, basically implied that Noelle Quinn should be fired on Twitter. It was out on Twitter and Instagram. And then the funniest thing is, she's after calling out your one Sabria, and then for the interview, she responds with a very important, can confirm with certainty the situation is not good. Also heard there are a few layers to it. We're knowing the Storm organization doesn't receive a lot of scrutiny by fans and media, which contributed to years of malpractice being covered up. I'm a huge defender of the basketball team, especially Noelle Quinn. Years of built up. This you? This you? This you? And either way, for me, one of the big things is as well, you have to also take into account that Nneka Nwumeke is head of the Players Association. And the fact that the rumor is that, like, some of the players were almost involved with the coaching, it's hard to believe that the player who was quoted as saying less than 10 days ago that she feels the first time she's been truly represented by a coaching staff. This has not aged well. This has not aged well for Nneka Nwumeke. And if anything comes out of this for the Seattle Storm, I can't see her staying on as the head of the PA. The coach has talked a few times about the lack of effort, said it was the whole team, but she thought it got contagious. So I wonder if those players are the ones getting harassed because of lack of effort, or if lack of effort is from getting harassed. That could have been it. That genuinely could have been it. But it is mad. It's mad because, yeah, WNBA players, when a coaches, or WNBA players union coaches abuse a player, Becky Hammon and this silence. WNBA players union when Christine Brennan asks a relevant question. And I do think when Christine Brennan asking her, did she mean the eye poke, isn't that bad a question, but asking her, basically implying she was celebrating it when she did the Carmelo Anthony celebration, like, that was dumb. And Christine Brennan was trying to bait an answer at DJ Carrington. Like, Christine Brennan was not in the right, but, like, the fact is that is no worse than Christine Brennan asking if she endorsed or asking if Caitlin Clark was endorsing Kamala Harris, which she liked an Instagram post. Like, Christine Brennan, like, but they're cool with some of the other, with the amount of bad questions she asked Caitlin Clark throughout the year trying to get answers for her book, but none of that mattered until she asked one question to DJ Carrington. Then it's trying to get rid of her credentials. Yeah, I think the WNBA PA is going to need a complete overhaul. I think it's going to need a complete overhaul. Like, people are talking about, oh, Nneka Nwumeke needs to be commissioner. No. And I like Nneka Nwumeke. I think she's a good player. I think, in general, like, she doesn't seem that bad a person. But, like, if this is true, again, sparked by multiple players' experiences, and she's probably the leader of this team. Her and Skylar, and for all we know, she might have been involved in this. Multiple players' experiences, and then their best player saying it's the first time she's truly felt represented. Like, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for Nneka Nwumeke. It's not a good look for the Players Association. It's not a good look for the WNBA. And I think one thing that everyone said is that stuff like this has been going on for all the, like, negative stuff in the WNBA. A lot of people have realized it's like all the people that don't want the new fans seem to have some sort of involvement in the negative stuff in the WNBA. They don't want their dirty laundry shared with millions of people. Like, they know that they've screwed up, or they know that they've probably not done things the best themselves, and they don't want that to be out there. A lot of the WNBA media that have been employed by the WNBA back when nobody was watching are probably scared that actual sports media is going to take their jobs, because they don't know anything about sport of basketball. They just know identity politics, and they want to put that into basketball. They're scared of their lives for that, so they want to make it off. They want to try scare everybody off by calling them racist, but at the end of the day, that's not going to do anything, because basketball fans are basketball fans. And we're seeing it with a lot of old players, that a lot of the ones that do want all the new fans gone, and not the ones that are like, yeah, this is great, but there's obviously issues. There's a thing with that. There are the players that basically are just like, yeah, we want this all done. They've all got seem to have skeletons in their closet. But again, this is all just an investigation. This is all rumors. What is going to come out of it? Absolutely nothing. Nneka Nwumeke is going to play for the Storm. Noelle Quinn is going to be the coach of the Storm next year, because you cannot have, like, Noelle Quinn, if she was, I'm not even going to say it. We all know why she can't be fired, but she can't be fired. She's untouchable until, like, it all depends on who the other teams hire. Like, she's untouchable until we find out who the other coaches are in the league, because there is a certain thing that Noelle Quinn is the only of in the league, and it is an impossibility for her to be fired unless another team hires a coach of the same background as her. So, yeah, we all know that she's untouchable. But this is a horrible, horrible look for the WNBA. It's a horrible look. And the fact is, like, the Hamby situation, so many other things come into light more and more and more now. And the problem is look, if you look at the Hamby situation, Kelsey Plum, vice president, Aja Wilson basically threw Hamby under the bus to defend Becky Hammon. Candace Parker did the exact same. In fairness, at least Kelsey Plum didn't sound like she was trying to throw Hamby under the bus, but she just sounded like she didn't want to say anything negative about Hammon, whereas Parker and Aja fully defended Becky Hammon. I think Jackie Young didn't say anything either. To be fair, I don't think everyone loves Jackie Young. Like, that, anything negative about the Aces, just take Jackie Young out of that. Take Jackie Young out of that. Always take Jackie Young out of that. We all love Jackie Young. But, and now, suddenly, the head of the WNBA Players Association, Nneka Nwumeke, her getting directly involved in it, and especially after saying, first time she's truly felt represented after the season, when it turns out there's a possibility that coaching staff was verbally abusive towards players. Yeah, not a good look at all.